The wind is so disruptive today that I almost forgot about these two containers right here. Now, fortunately, the sun did not completely bake away the words on these labels, and I was able to distinguish what they were. This is white Elysium, and this is red Elysium. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually place these in their permanent home. So let's go do that. This container has a coral bell coming back from last year in the center. Well, a little bit off center, but this is the coral bell that's coming back. It is a Palace purple coral bell. And I have a couple calendula that I sowed. I don't know when. I've been putting some of everything in this pot, trying to get it to come up to see if I can do a direct sow for the winter. I put some seeds out to see if I can get them to grow just on their own, as they do in the wild. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull back this mulch. And as you can see, this soil is relatively moist, even though you can't really see too good because I've got mulch, but that soil is nice and moist and rich. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just move this back and make a bit of a trench here. I'm going to go into the bucket that I have over off to the side. I hope you guys can see. And I'm going to do the exact same thing I did with all the other mystery plants. I'm just going to use the fork and tease up the roots off of these plants, and then take out some and put them in the container. So I'm just going to tease them up. Hopefully I'm not stabbing them. I'm just trying to tease them up like so. Get them all loose, make it a little bit easier to get them out. All right, so here's the first one. And I'm not going to put this tiny one in there. If I have some tiny ones, I'm not going to put those in. Now what I'm going to try to do is put a drift of these, because this is one plant. So I'm just going to place a few of them in here in several different sections, just like so. Now I'm not going to be gentle. I'm just going to pop them in. If they're meant to survive, they will. Now, Elysium, they are going to spill over, so I'm hoping that they're going to get big enough to spill and fill in this pot where the coral bell leaves off. So, just like that. Now I have some soil over here in my teal bucket, and I'm just going to pop, sorry about that, hit you out with my hat. I'm just going to pop a little bit of soil on top of those roots, like so. Do a little bit of a firm, and then I'm going to take this mulch and just kind of shift it back over on top of that soil, just like that. Now I know this looks a little bit rudimentary. I'm going to go back and try to set them up, and you'll see once I'm done that I've set them up, I've firmed them on both sides, and I've placed the mulch back. You want to keep these babies moist or they are going to die. The weather is warming up here. It's cool in the mornings, but in the evenings it is warming up. So I want to make sure that I'm giving them the best chance they get. And I'm just going to do the same thing around the other side of the container. So I'm going to speed this up. This is Russian sage. It came back from last year. I'm going to be doing a little bit of cutting back because it appears that some of these branches are not viable. It hasn't budded out yet or leafed out yet. So I'm just going to cut those back. And this will be the last pot that I plant up any of my winter sowing in. I'm going to put the white Alyssum in this pot. So let me clean this up. Now that I have this pretty baby all nice and trimmed back, I am going to go ahead on and put some Alyssum around its base. Hope you guys can see what's going on here. I have the Alyssum down here at my feet. Let me show you guys. This is the white Alyssum that I'm going to place in there. There are a few plants. So I'm going to get my turquoise bucket that I have over here in the corner. And I'm going to take my scooper and I'm going to take off all this mulch. And I might take off a couple layers of soil just to see what that soil looks like. And then I'm going to add some reclaimed soil that's nice and soft on the top. Yeah, this mulch it's been on here a year and it is really, really compacted. Look at that. Ugh, that looks terrible. This obviously likes dry soil because this mulch is really dry. Oh, there we go. You go down below all this mulch and you'll see that the soil itself is relatively moist. Not sopping wet, but not too bad. So it's just all this mulch that I have on top of here. And that goes to show you that mulching is an important step. And I do my best to mulch everything in the garden. Place that stake up a little bit more. So I'm just going to take this off. And I've already put some fertilizer in this container, but I am going to put a little bit more on the top. I'm just going to move this soil a little bit, loosen it up a little bit, and I'm going to put some all-purpose fertilizer in here. As a matter of fact, no, I'm going to use the vegetable herb fertilizer. Is that what I want to do? Because this is Russian sage and it's an herb. That's okay. I'm just going to use what I have out here, and I have the all-purpose. So I'm just going to go and get that off the table, and I will be right back. Put a flower that's going to spill over in many of my pots is I like to have my pots look as full as possible. I want there to be a thriller, a spiller, and a filler, if at all possible. Let me say that again just in case you didn't hear me. I wanted to have a thriller, a spiller, and a filler. So I try my best to put those types of plants in each container or add to a container so that I can have what I'd like to see. Because to be honest with you, if you don't have a lot of exposed soil, you have less weed seeds. So I just put that espoma all multi-purpose. This is, if I can get the scooper out, this is the Osma coat. And I'm just going to take a little bit and sprinkle that along the top, just like so. And then I'm going to work that in and then place my Alyssum in here, just like so. I'm not trying to beat it up too bad, but I do want to feed it. Like I said, this came back from last year, and I was pleasantly surprised. I thought it was dead, but It showed me, didn't it? So just like all the other containers, I'm just going to take a fork and take out the biggest ones and place them in the pot. If there are any little babies in here, I am not going to put them in here. I will pot those up into a smaller container and put them in the greenhouse until I can see that they're big enough to stand on their own and go outside. And then I'll place them somewhere else. So I am going to take this one. Oh, that's two. That's okay. I'm going to put one right here. Press it in. One right here. Press it in, and I hope you guys can see what I'm doing. And I have another one over here. Let's see. This might be two. Yep, this is two. These get pretty big, so I'm probably going to hate my life when this really takes off, but I'm going to see if I can break this up, but that's okay. I'm going to put this one right here. Press it in. And this one over here. Press it in. I am going to firm these in. I know they look a little wobbly, a little floppy. Hope I didn't kill that one. We'll see, won't we? There we go. And let's see if I have one more. Yeah, let me see if I have one more. And I've got this one. I don't like how this one looks. It's not so sturdy. Not the biggest specimen. So I'm going to put this one over here on this side, create a hole, plop it in, and there we go. Just like that. Like I mentioned, I don't like that one. Let's see if I have one that might be better. I'm going to take this one out. I don't like how that little guy looks. He looks a little weak, and I don't want to deal with him. So I'm going to put this one in. And when you are dealing with flowers that you grew from seed, if you don't like something, take it out. Replace it. Put a healthier specimen in. All right. And that's it. This is all I'm going to do tonight. So this was the bonus. I've been outside all day. It is early evening already. And I still have so much more left to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some mulch on this, and I am going to call it a night. Bye, everybody.